Hi, I'm James Charge, a business analytics master's student at Macquarie, and I'm going to show you how to use Twitter data in Neo4j. So I'm going to demonstrate an assignment that I've been working on where I need to clean some JSON tweets that are in a JSON file, and then import them into Neo4j. So I'm just going to open up my Python code on my other screen that runs the cleaning file, or cleans the files. So I'll just bring that up and quickly show you this. So basically, I'm just removing the numbers from the tweets and also the object ID and also the number long, which I found doesn't get imported into Neo4j correctly. We also need to add these square brackets at the start and the end. And then, as you can see here, the file's been created. I then just need to put that in the right location to be inserted into Neo4j, which I've already done before this, but I'll just show you where I've put it. I put it into this imports folder, and that's the output file there. Just have a quick look. Looks like this. I've replaced the numbers between with a comma, so that'll be imported nicely. Also need to add a apoc.conf file so that it can be, so that the apoc insertion has been enabled. Once that's done, just need to call this long query here to insert the data. I'll start that running and then I'll just explain it quickly. So this file here just shows how to insert the data from the JSON file into Neo4j. Just use an iterator, and I'm just doing batches of 100 because my computer can't really handle anything bigger than that batch. And then basically I'm just grabbing each document and I'm saving it as a variable original structure. And then I'm checking if it's a retweet. If the verb is share, then it is a retweet, and I'm going inside of the retweet to find the original tweet, which is the value.object, and saving it as tweet data. I then go in here and get the basic details that I want, which is the retweets, the mentions, hashtags, URLs, and the users. And I also save this original tweet so that I can check it later if it is a retweet. I can make a tweet node from the retweet. Here, just do some creations of nodes. I use onMatchSet here because if a user has created a mention, it actually has less data. So then onMatchSet, it'll update the user to have more information if it's also involved in another tweet. Here I use for each because mentions and hashtags and URLs can be arrays, or they are arrays, filled with dictionary types. So the for each deals with those, create the links, create the relationship, sorry. And then here I'm just dealing with the retweet data. So if the verbs are shared, then it is a retweet. And I want to go through all of this where I'm basically making a retweeted user from the retweet data. So all of that gets the data loaded in. And I'm just going to pause this video while this happens. Okay, now that the data has been inserted, as you can see here, it's got the new relationships, nodes, and properties. We're ready to start looking through the data. Now I'll just run this visualization and you can see that we are matching the data model that we wanted to match. So that's good. Now I'll just quickly go through the answers to the part 2 questions, which I've got here. Basically just finding all of the users that have tweets and sources, and then counting the number of posts and counting the number of unique users. That one's a pretty straightforward one, so I'll go through to the next one. This one's got a few more levels. And what's happening is that we're finding all of the users with tweets, where the retweet counts above 50, and grabbing those users and how many tweets they have, and only grabbing the top 3. And then I'm doing an optional match because, as I found, one of the users doesn't use any hashtags, as you can see here from the output. So Michael5SOS here has an empty array because he doesn't use any hashtags. The other 2 have their top hashtags. Now, quickly going into number 3, it's to find the closest pattern. Then here you can see that it's 24, and it's going between users and their connections, which I'll show. Didn't need that. And you can see that it's users, and then they've got tweets, and they've got tweets and more tweets and retweets here as well. And then it ends on the hashtag I'm so sick, starting from the username that you wanted. So once we have that, we'll go into part 3. And we need to add a domain basically, because we want to find all of the links that link to a certain domain. So I made that a subset of the link connection down here. So it's off link because it's really just a subset of the link is the domain. I was going to link it to tweets so you could get closer to users or figure out a way of getting it directly from users, but that just doesn't make sense because it's better just to be off the link. It makes more sense as a design. So here is how I would actually implement that. Basically, this code just finds all the links where there is a URL, and then we find after the second slash, because they're all HTTPs // and then the name of the website, and then maybe another slash with the specifics of the domain. I then remove the www dot at the front because some of them do have it and some of them don't. So I want it to be consistent, and then make those links. So let me just go back here and you can see this by running this code. And you can see now we have the domain sources from link sources from the domain. Now the last part, they want to find all of the links coming from these certain domains. And we've got these two. The code is finding all the users with posts, with tweets that contain links that source from the domain. We're checking for the exact domain name that you want. We're counting them, collecting the usernames, and seeing how often they have done the link. So both of these two users have used the link twice. If you go in here and you change the limit to 2 and rerun it, you can see you get all these other users that have used the link count once. So yeah, you can see that. And then the final part, we're just looking at industry and companies. So if I run this code, it does all that. And basically, I'll show you the code here. I'm creating a new company and it's got domain as an array and industry. Same for Facebook, social media, creating an industry with a name, display label. And then here I'm matching company and industry, where the company industry, so this one matches here, and then making a relationship there. And then I'm finding all the companies and doing a for each because the company domain is an array, and I'm merging them to an existing array users domain. So once that's run, I can run this code and correct this a little bit. Show all of this. So now you can see that our data model has been extended a bit, and we've got our links now to our domain. A company can use a domain, can use multiple domains, and the company is a part of an industry. So to show you a little bit better in this example, I'll use this code that I wrote earlier. So you've got the job seeking industry, and you've got your LinkedIn domain, company, sorry, is a part of the job seeking industry. And then you can see that LinkedIn uses these two domains, which we know from earlier is correct. You can obviously extend this further, get all the sources from links, and then find the tweets. And then obviously find the users and everything, and we can go back quite far. So that's that. So this all shows you how you can deal with tweet data in Neo4j. That's all for now. Thanks.